Joseph Thomas III, a political science major junior, hailing from Miami, Florida, and I attend Jackson State University. And today I'll be presenting a presentation on Project 2025 and how it affects the low-income communities. Project 2025 originated from the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank. And Project 2025 proposes a series of sweeping policy changes aimed at reshaping federal governance, economic structures, and social frameworks in the United States. This presentation discusses how these proposed policies disproportionately affect low-income communities, Black and brown communities, by describing the implications of dismantling the administrative state, abolishing the Department of Education, tax reconstruction, and the potential elimination of social services. This presentation will show you how Project 2025 may exacerbate existing inequalities and undermine essential support systems and create further economic instability for vulnerable populations. I'm going to talk about 3 impacts of Project 2025, and that's the first one I'm going to talk about is tax reconstruction and how it affects low-income communities. So I know everybody here likes money in their pocket, right?
Yes.
But however, if Project 2025 is implemented, it will make your taxes, for consumers like me and you, it will make our taxes higher. And for corporations like Coca-Cola, Apple, or Samsung, they will have lower tax rates, which means it's widening the wealth gap between the richer and the poorer. And if that happens, low-income families rely on these deductions and credits to offset their living expenses. So we need the taxes to remain the same or at least get better. My next topic, abolishing the Department of Education. What do I mean by abolishing the Department of Education? Basically, they're trying to remove the education system, which means that if students like me, students like you that attend public universities don't have these the federal support by the government, we will no longer have scholarships available, we'll no longer have the technology or resources to go to colleges, to go to the universities of our choice. And that is a key factor in breaking the cycle of poverty. Eliminating federal support could lead to the diminished quality of education and reduce access to vital resources in struggling communities. My next point is reproductive rights and healthcare access. They want to ban abortion, and if we ban abortion, that could lead to increased unintended pregnancies, financial strains, and have women that could be your mom, your grandmother, or your sister or cousin, anyone that is a female could definitely be affected by this. It will have challenges to their woman's autonomy, to their body, and how the baby may be overdue or the baby may be late. And it can disproportionately affect women that's already marginalized by social economic factors. It also could they are trying to propose restrictions on abortion in the United States all over. So if this is implemented, women that do have unintended pregnancies will not be able to get rid of the baby, which means they probably will be placed in foster care. And in the state of Mississippi, foster care systems are not really known to have the greatest foster care system for that child or for that family that they are looking for to support. So let me give you a scenario of what would happen if Project 2025 was implemented in a community. Say for instance, we have a young girl by the name of Julia. She's 16, she's African American. She wants to go to a college or a university of her choice. But if the Department of Education is no longer available, if we don't have federal support, that means school systems like Jackson State University or any public university would have to prioritize private funding for their schools, which means that it would cost more to keep employees, it would cost more to keep students there, which effortlessly would mean that they would not be able to keep the students and keep the workers and keep the people employed, which would negatively decrease student enrollment and negatively decrease the number of students that could attend the school. My conclusion from this is that Project 25 proposes policies represented and presented by a troubling trajectory for low-income communities in the United States. By dismantling essential support systems, increasing economic burdens, and prioritizing enforcement over welfare, these challenges threaten to deepen the existing inequalities, and as policymakers consider the implication of these reforms, it is imperative to prioritize the needs of the most vulnerable populations to ensure a just and equitable society.
Joe, I think you might be a slide behind. Sorry. I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if Project 2025 was implemented into your community, what would it look like and how would you feel? These are just some of my extended resources on Project 25. This is where you can check to see all the guidelines of what Project 25 has. And then this is a YouTube video that explains what Project 25 has on its housing policies. Thank you. These are my sources, and then this is my mentor, Dr. Mark G. Henderson, and as well, she's not on there, but Dr. Felicia Russell.